That's great. Let's talk a little bit about your geographical focus. Now, you have locations in Japan, Curacao. Is this a sign of an increasingly international strategy? Are you broadening the scope, or are these just exceptions to the business platform you're on now?
No, I wouldn't say exception. We've always been international. We've been in Singapore and Thailand before in our past. We've probably evaluated projects in 60 countries.
Do you still have those properties
We
now?
still have 2 in Japan and a property in Curacao, as well as 2 projects that we have contracts on in Santiago, Chile. So we've had a presence in Chile for about 6 years. Aside from global recession, which impacted every continent, Latin America in general, and I'd say most of the major U.S. hotel companies that have attempted to get a footprint in Latin America have probably been frustrated with the pace of activity there. But we're patient. My parents were born in Cuba, so we have a little bit of that blood in us, so I guess we understand the patience that's necessary and the relationship building that's necessary to get business done there. But we've always had an international focus. Of our 4 growth platforms, international expansion is one of them. But it's very deliberate and very careful because we're a management company. It has to be a sizable enough location where we really feel like we can have enough influence and enough boots on the ground to do something really meaningful. We've had opportunities to run, for example, a bunch of castles in Spain, which we evaluated some years ago. That really wasn't something that was big enough for us to sink our teeth into, but we've also had 200- and 300-room resorts, in Europe and in Asia that we have looked at more seriously, because then you can really get a footprint there and feel like you got a talent base that can be expanded in the future, as well as really handle it extremely well and be very entrepreneurial, because our business is not real easy to scale overseas.
Right, and which leads me to my last question is, what are the 2 biggest challenges, do you think, when you are operating outside of your own backyard? Or do you have a presence in these different countries as well?
No, in all cases we are, we're attacking new territory. And so a good example would be Curacao. We've been in Curacao since December of last year, so we've been there just a little less than a year. And in the conversation with ownership about that project and us being involved, a question was asked, well, we're really concerned about your lack of experience in the Caribbean. And I said, like I said before, we've done a lot of things we've never done before. We've been in markets we've never been in before. And so part of that at the time was their frustration with their current performance. I said, well, you hired a management company who had experience in the Caribbean, and how's that working out? They didn't do a good job. They made assumptions. Well, we don't make any assumptions. We attack every single market. But the distribution capabilities and partners and ability to be able to attack a market is actually, it's much easier today than it ever has been. We already in that property have presence in Latin America in key markets. We have marketing partners and boots on the ground in Europe. We had that within 30 days of taking over the property. We obviously have all the presence that we need within the U.S. We have a very aggressive local strategy, and we put it all in place fairly quickly. In that case, we also leveraged Preferred, which was a bit of that distribution and scale and relationships in places that we didn't have, and we pay very little for that in comparison to a chain, to a U.S. chain. And we have 9 preferred properties, so we have a great relationship with them. So they made introductions in places that we may not have had access to. So we use our partners. We dig in and we get aggressive, and we never assume that anything works in any one place. And we just make we make it happen in every single circumstance. And so we've just done that all of our life. So to us, it's somewhat normal, but it's understandable that it sometimes is risky too.
Well, it's an anomaly, and it's impressive.
Well, thanks.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Once again, Llenrock Blog, I'm Josh Sapienza, and this is Alex Cabanas. Thank you for watching.